You know she's getting filled by some black stud. You know there's some black fucking bull that's just filling her with cock meat, giving her the real fuck she deserves. Some big black bull just filling her with cock meat. And that's just crazy talk.
Yes, indeed. That is just crazy talk. How are we all doing tonight, folks? How are we all doing on this lovely Sunday evening? You know, I never liked Sunday evenings. I've never been a big fan of Sundays in general. And it goes back to being a kid. You know, it's the last day of the weekend. You know, there was usually some homework due tomorrow that I didn't do. You know, Sunday evening I usually get that every once in a while. Still to this day, I'm a fucking 37-year-old man, but every once in a while, Sunday evenings, you still get that feeling like there's a book report due tomorrow and you never even brought the book home. Uh, but maybe that's just me because I didn't I didn't do shit in school. Uh, let's see. So, we got some cringe tonight. Sundays are the death march to Monday. Exactly. Exactly. And plus, like, nothing's open on Sunday. I mean, at least in my area. You know, I mean, a lot of stuff is open, but it has, like, terrible hours. Like, you know, if I wanted to go to the comic book store today, for example, it's open noon to 5. You know what I mean? Um, just, somebody has a case of the Sundays. That's right. So we're going to watch some cringe. Well, not watch. We're going to read. We're going to call LeVar fucking Burton and get the reading rainbow ready because we're going to read some cringe tonight. We are going to read some cringe. And it's going to be fucking spectacular. By the way, folks, as I said before, I got a Roku. I just started watching a show on Hulu called Crossing Swords. It's like this. It. What the fuck were those things called? You know those little toys that like little preschoolers would have? I think they were called like Little People. They had like a circular head, and then they'd have like a body but no arms, and their legs would be like just a solid little peg that would go in to other larger play sets like a bus or a house or something like that. Um, Somebody did like a stop motion cartoon basically using those things. It's called Crossing Swords. One of the guys behind it's supposedly got some of the guys behind Robot Chicken on it. Watched the first couple episodes of that. Pretty fucking funny. I gotta say I mean it's I'm not gonna sit here and act like you know it's it's the greatest fucking show in the world, but it's funny. I mean, it's just a bunch of like you know like dick jokes and stuff like that. It's just dumb, goofy Adult Swim style humor, but it's funny. Watch like the first couple episodes of that. Good stuff so far. All right, so I give that a thumbs up. You want to laugh? I laughed at it. So you know, if you like Robot Chicken, or you just like that style of just goofy bullshit, you know, you like it. But no, we're gonna get serious tonight, folks. Here, we gotta get serious. All right, we gotta get fucking serious here. All right, which is why we're gonna turn to one of the greatest moral philosophers of our time, Roush V. So Roush V, he's gonna explain to us um, some things about sexual morality. It's fucking walking genital wart. It's gonna tell us some things about sexual morality. So we need to listen. We need to take this seriously. All right. We need to take this seriously. It's in fucking happy fun time. All right. It's Sunday, and it's time to hear from Pastor Roush V. Okay. So this article is entitled 15 Ways that heterosexual fornicators are identical to homosexuals. It's from June 8th, a few days ago. Few days ago. He dropped this about almost a week ago. So, at a time in my life when I was attacking homosexuals for their degenerate fornication lifestyle, I was participating in a degenerate fornication lifestyle. Outside of the difference that they had sex with men and I had sex with women, our lifestyles, moral outlook, and approach to intimacy were almost identical. I may not have been a homosexual by definition, but I was a homosexual in spirit. Remember a few weeks ago I covered it out here, and there's actually a meme, like an esoteric. You gotta remember the lore of this show to remember this meme. But there's a couple weeks ago, Roush was, because Roush is all old fashioned now, and he's working outside. He's doing yard work and all this other. He's just trying to be like how Owen Benjamin is like, yeah, I built a fence and I raise goats now. It's that kind of dumb shit that sort of just like a 14-year-old trying to find a fucking identity. He's like, yeah, I'm a manly man. I'm a traditional man. I work outside. He posted on Twitter, I think this was a couple months ago now, I used a wheelbarrow for the first time. This motherfucker's like 50. I used a wheelbarrow for the first time. Like, I fucking hate doing yard work, okay? I can't stand this shit, all right? Like, if I had my own house, I'd be tempted to just fucking rip all the grass out, pave it, and paint it green. Because fuck it, I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't even like mowing the lawn. But I used a wheelchair when I was like 6. I had like a little one. I helping my dad. Like, how do you a 50-year-old man, you never used a wheelbarrow? But no, he's a man's man. He's gonna he's gonna tell us how to all be. So he says, that's your old boss. This is indeed my old boss. And look, he was a great boss, aside from the fact that he got bored with that project and killed it way too soon. I really don't dislike Roush on a personal level. If anything, I feel kind of bad for the guy. But, man. Oh, man. I'm sorry, cringe is cringe, all right? Oh. Here are 15 ways that a homosexual fornicator acts the same, or I'm sorry, that a heterosexual fornicator acts the same as a homosexual. Number 1, they seal the deal late at night under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Both the straight and the gay man undergo the same ritual at night to get ready for sex. They congregate in dark rooms within a big city and warm themselves up by taking alcohol or other drugs. All potential sexual prospects for the night are plied with drink or pills to get them in a heightened sense of lust. And then at the peak moment of attraction, an attempt is made to move to a private bedroom or bathroom to complete a sex act. If you're an active fornicator, I can just about guarantee you that you've never slept with a woman for the first time without the aid of psychoactive substance. Oh, there's a lot to unpack there. Never. I guess I can only speak for myself. I have never done drugs. Not weed. Nothing harder than weed either. No coke, fucking shrooms, none of that shit. I am, in that regard, very, very straight edge motherfucker. I've done a lot of shit I ain't proud of. I've done a lot of shit I cringe at. I've done a lot of shit I'm embarrassed about. But that ain't some of it. I barely drink. Hell, the last like 2 years, I've probably drank more than I have in the whole rest of my life combined. And a lot of that was just, a little captain guest star in just to make the show a bit more fun. I mean, generally, I could buy like a bottle of Captain Morgan and it lasts me well over a year. I don't drink very much. And I almost never drink when I'm out because I'm usually driving. And I definitely haven't partaken of the spirits enough to know when I'm inebriated behind the wheel. When my reaction time is a bit too much, I just don't risk it. And I mean, I was having sex in high school when I wasn't getting high it was hard to get a hold of any of that shit. I almost never been to a club or a bar or any of those kind of things to pick up. Come think of it, I basically never had sex with somebody I'm not in a fucking relationship with. Like, is this really how you lived your life, motherfucker? That's like, this is gross. Like, this article's fucking gross, by the way. Like, both it's cringy in what he's advocating, and it's really gross in what he was admitting to. But no, Roush, I don't believe that the vast majority of guys only get laid when they're drunk or they're high, or when the girl is drunk or high. Like, I'm kind of a white knight pussy in that regard. Like, I generally won't fuck a chick if I think she's had a bit too much sauce. Like, I'll be honest with you, I pull that kind of like the fucking, remember that scene in Austin Powers? No, Vanessa, you're drunk. Like, I'm not even trying to sound like a faggy white knight. Like, I really do that, and that's kind of because like I don't really want to fuck you if you have to be getting shit faced to want to fuck me. I generally don't want to fuck you then. I mean, I can jerk my big old dick off myself. I don't need you for the physical release of it. The making the chick come is most of the fun of sex. For me, at least, But I'm a giver. Number 2, they're obsessed with holes. That is a lovely fucking image for this. Both homo and hetero can't get their mind off holes. Every day, they fantasize about how a mouth, vagina, or anus located somewhere in the meat space can give them an orgasm. These holes, they believe, will save them from a meaningless existence. But the pursuit of holes only makes life more meaningless, because after all, they're just holes. That is... Oh, man. Is that really all sex was to you? Ew. I said before it, and I think somebody sent me, I know, I don't have the clip in front of me, but somebody sent me a clip when he was talking to Owen Benjamin, when Roush basically admitted, like, he never loved any of these women. I don't even think he ever really enjoyed them. I thought it was something he pursued because he thought it would make him feel better, but it never did. And I remember, and I certainly don't want to pick on Forney, because him and I are still cool, but I do remember something he said once about describing how empty, like, fornication could be and that kind of stuff. And he talked about, is sex even really that great? I don't have the exact words in front of me, but something along the lines of, you just sort of lay on top of a woman, undulate like a slug, is his exact words in this writing, for a few minutes, and then you nut. And I just kind of like, and I didn't want to say anything at the time, because again, I like Forney. I'm not trying to pick on Forney here, but he's a big boy. He can You know, he's not gonna get mad and join a pagan cult because I mildly criticized him right now. But like, is that how you fuck? I mean, like, I think maybe some of y'all are doing it wrong. Is just now. Look, I'm a weird freaky bastard, so you know there's fucking you know whips and chains and handcuffs and a rigged up fucking pulley system involved half the time with me. But it's generally like you never had like a connection with any bitches. I never fucked a chick like just to fuck a chick. You know what I mean? I ain't never done that. I never fucked a chick I didn't have feelings for her. I wasn't in a relationship with her or something. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not acting like I'm some moral fucking, like some pillar of fucking virtue over here. Like I'm not. I'm a fucking disgusting pervert. But come on, man. Number 3, they're obsessed with having big muscles. They only weigh, I guess it's the only way. I can't shit on it. No, I got when I did a blog, there were typos out the ass too, so I can't poke at you on that one. The only way to guarantee access to sex is to be attractive to those who have the desired hole. Oh God. Like, this is honestly how he always viewed sex, too. I really think this is always how... Like, why were you even doing it then, if this is what you thought of it? Oh. To those who have the desired hole. So both gay and straight have active gym memberships where they pay money to perform the manual labor of lifting things up and down. They do useless work to build huge muscles that act as a tailored suit in order to get a little more attention than a guy wearing an off-the-rack suit. The fornicators spend dozens of hours a month, if not each week, working out in the gym for muscle growth and only gets used inside the gym, which aids their ability to score sex. It would be the same as building a car only to run on a dynometer but not on the real road. I don't. I think you're speaking for. I think you're speaking for yourself here, buddy. Like, look, I should be at the gym more. My fat ass should be getting in shape, okay? And yeah, it would make me more attractive to the ladies, and that's certainly nicer. It would make me feel a lot better, both physically and mentally. You know, I'd live longer, I'd have more energy, there's all sorts of benefits to it. I should do it. It is high on the list of things I should do. And that's a very long list. And don't get me wrong, wanting to look more attractive is definitely part of it. But I don't... I think he's speaking more for himself than a lot of other people. They groom as much as women. To maximize attraction, everything about their look has to be perfect. Hair has to be trendy and well coiffed. Clothing must be modern and fitted, not just formulaic. And then there's the manscaping. Back hair and excessive chest hair must go. Beards and even eyebrows must be carefully sculpted. I hear that some gay men now wear makeup, which means that straight men may soon start doing it as well. If you don't look in the mirror and think, I'm an ugly dude, then you may be homosexual or acting like one. Okay. You know, I know a guy. Maybe I should say I knew a guy. Used to have him on the channel a lot. Used to go on his channel a lot. Now he wasn't. He didn't have the hairstyle because he was a little lacking in that department. But he was very obsessed with how he dressed and being well manicured, all this other sorts of stuff. And actually, one of the ways he was shitting on me when we were beefing was, Beckloff has a stupid haircut. See, because the thing about my hair, I actually have pretty nice hair. It's getting a little gray here at the temple, just a few grays here at the temple. But by and large, I have pretty nice hair. But the thing is, I don't usually let it grow long because it's a pain in the ass. All right, like you gotta figure out something to do with it. You gotta comb it in the morning, all this sort of bullshit. I just buzz my hair generally, just keep it just kind of short and buzzed, out of the way. You don't have to fuss with it. And again, this was always true of me. Like I would go through periods where I didn't cut my hair. Like after high school, I went through like a weird period where I didn't cut my hair for like almost 2 years. It's just I don't want to get a haircut. Fucking not gonna let the man tell me what to do. But even then, I rarely did anything with it. I usually just combed it the fuck out of my face, like slicked it back or something. Like I didn't care. I was dating a girl at the time. She didn't mind. So who the fuck else am I trying to impress? I didn't care. They rack up dozens or hundreds of sexual partners, while the homosexual racks up innumerable partners with ease. Don't underestimate the ability of an average-looking heterosexual man to do the same through third world travel. Ew. Prostitution and dumpster diving. I've known many straight men with hundreds of notches. This is gross. Who believed they're one sexual encounter away from meeting the perfect woman when their lifestyle actually precludes that from ever happening. For both gay and straight, the weekend is nothing more than an anxious whirlwind of trying to secure a hole so that on Monday they can say they had a good weekend. This is gross. They're obsessed with anal sex. I've never had anal sex in my life because it's disgusting. But most straight men I know have done it. I'm going to have to raise my hand there. And they seem proud of that fact. I wouldn't say proud. It's just there's a thing that happened. They have relayed the sordid details of their anal encounters and how it made them feel powerful or dominant. The only way they could have come to this conclusion is through the brain-rotting effects of pornography. I guess, again, I'm going to pick on Forney a little bit. Love you, Forney. Love you, you good buddy. But I'm going to pick on you a little bit here, something he said. He talked about how, anal sex was only about sticking it in God's eye. And it was about dominating and hurting the woman. And it's just painful for him. Look, I mean, I've been known to partake of the black arts of the old domination and submission. I've been on both ends of that particular spectrum. But I did a lot of that shit, no pun intended, with my high school sweetheart. And that was, I don't know how else to describe it, but it was just like we were young and in love. I know it's a fucking foreign concept to these people. But we were young and in love. And we just wanted to do everything. We were just experimental and yeah, I guess we had heard of it through porn, but yeah, you want to try this? And she fucking liked it, by the way. You go a little slow. You don't just fucking jackhammer her right away, but she fucking liked it. A lot of women do. Obviously, a lot of women don't. But a lot of women do. But the point is, the reason it was even tried is, again, this idea that it's just about hurting the other. These motherfuckers are sociopaths. What do you... No, we were young and in love, and we wanted to try stuff, okay? I get that, and again, this is why I'm saying, I wouldn't even say I dislike this guy so much as I pity him. I get it, Roush. You've never felt that way. And that's a shame. I feel bad for you. in that regard. Because while I've had more than a few girlfriends in my life, there's at least two that really got under my skin. And you never had that. Domino Mortis in the chat says, I tried it with my high school sweetheart too. It was incredibly painful for me personally. I understand it's not that way for other women. Again, yeah, like I'm not, you know, and like my high school sweetheart said, it hurt a little at first, but she got into it. You know, when the first time there was a little pain involved in our escapades. But it wasn't like it was the kind of thing we talked about trying, like when neither one of us was playing a dom or a sub or any of that goofy shit. Like it was just like, you know, you want to try this? It might be fun. You know, like again, it was just you young and you're in love and you want to try things. The idea that it's just about, I showed that bitch, I showed hers, boss, running up her ass. When I used to watch porn, it took quite some time to find a preferred video that had no anal, and many times I was tricked into watching a vaginal porn scene that suddenly changed to anal without warning. Anal porn is pushed onto everyone, and unfortunately many straight men have fallen for the anal meme. Both gay and straight can't wait to drill for mud-covered E. coli. That's kind of fucking funny. I'm not even going to bother pronouncing that one. And other bacteria. I mean, that's kind of fucking funny. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's obviously, you know, not the most fucking sanitary thing in the world. And I'm not even sitting here acting like I'm a fucking advocate of it. Like, it's, you know, doing it a lot is not good for you, too. I mean, like, you know, the moral panic idiots over here might want to act like, oh, you do it once, your fucking butthole is going to fall out. But, I mean, that's not the case. But, yeah, it's not the best thing for you. I'm not advocating it for you. I would say, I don't believe at all that there's anything morally wrong within marriage, a husband and wife doing that. Again, I would say that's something you should probably do with moderation. But within marriage, I don't think there's anything, you know, you're trying to spice things up a little bit, been married for a while, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Fucking go nuts. Have fun. They prize sex without protection. Again, I think this is something he's projecting. I've never particularly felt that way, and I've had some fun in my day. The fact that AIDS endures is proof that homosexuals still refuse to wear condoms. Yeah, it's probably fair. When you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, you tend to lose control of your will, and even if not, homosexuals love the bareback feeling. Heterosexual men are no different in preferring to do it raw. The ones who say they always use condoms are not being honest, because once you hear details of the sexual encounter, you'll say that they only use condom when a woman forces them to, or when one puts out severe warning signs like having a facial tattoo. Again, I've used condoms a lot in my day, and it was primarily because I didn't want to knock a chick up. I didn't want to have a little bastard. I never fucked a chick I even had reason to suspect had fucking HIV. I wouldn't fuck a chick if I was looking at her saying, oh man, she might, you know, like I just wouldn't do that. Again, I wouldn't fuck a chick I'm not in a relationship with. I'm not like, there's not something there. I never have. I never went the one night stand route or any of that shit. That's fucking gross. Let's see. Both types of men will put their penis into the hole of a stranger without doing any type of vetting. Again, I think you're speaking for yourself here, man. I mean, I guess you're speaking for some other guys too, but exposing themselves to all sorts of diseases, and yet freak out if they're dining in a restaurant and find a hair in their food. And that is kind of funny. I'll give you that. They have sex with partners they have no feelings for. Again, I mean, I'm a disgusting pervert. You can't pin this one on me. A notch is a notch, right? Ugh, so gross. Fornicators look at other human beings. Again, fornicators mean someone having sex outside marriage. All right, let's be real. All right, if you're banging your girlfriend, you're a fornicator. All right, you should wait till marriage to have sex. I agree with that, by the way. It ain't a standard I've lived up to, but I agree with it. Of course, you know, that rule was also written when we were all married off when we were fucking 15. So there's that aspect of it too. We're also not supposed to be waiting until we're fucking 40 to get married or some shit like that. But anyways, a notch is just a notch. Fornicators look at other human beings as just potential orgasm as a way to take away the pain of a life that is out of communion with the Creator. Ah yes, Pastor Roush here. Many times I would dance like a monkey for a girl I didn't like to entertain her and maintain her attraction, just so I could access her hole and have an orgasm. See, it wasn't about the orgasm, okay? Because I don't know if you knew this, Roush, and you're not stupid, so I assume you did. You can jack your dick off. It wasn't the orgasm you were looking for. It was the social status. You didn't want to even have sex. You wanted to be the guy who could say that he had sex. You were more interested in about bragging about it than actually doing it. I don't think you ever even liked doing it, which is weird, but there it is. Through hang on. Where was I? Okay. I have been a complete fake to innumerable women by exaggerating my strengths, omitting my weaknesses, and sometimes resorting to blatant lies about my career, background, or intention. I'm shocked. Through fornication, both gay and straight stop viewing humans as humans, but as a vessel to a sex act that is barely more intimate than masturbation. At this point, I think it's less. The sex you're describing. It's less intimate than a good old-fashioned wank session. And any means will justify that end. They think sex makes them happy. All fornicators believe sex is making them happy when it's really doing the opposite. They focus on bodily pleasure without looking at the immense emotional cost of malaise, depression, guilt, and anger, which seep into every area of their lives. The more sexual partners a man has, the angrier he is. But he's too blind to see that anger is caused by his own sexual behavior. Again, I don't necessarily know if it's the amount of sex you were having, buddy, or even the amount of partners. I think it's the disgusting excuse for sex you were having. As soon as I ceased all fornication, most of my emotional problems went away. Is that so? I was calmer, more patient, and less irritable. Is that why you've fucking threw constant fits and will ban and have banned like 90% of your fucking forum because you're more stable now? You may even be able to notice these changes in my most recent writings. It is undoubtedly helped by my daily prayer ritual. We're gonna read that one later. But I also no longer have to deal with the heavy personal costs of seeking a continuous supply of casual sex partners. They've sterilized the reproductive act. We already know that gays don't care about reproduction and must instead convert other people's children into their doo-doo lifestyle. But the same goes for most straight fornicators. I've lost count of how many men I've had to counsel through a pregnancy scare. And I've been through a couple myself. Oh, God. They feel like their whole life is about to fall apart because they have accidentally impregnated a woman. The horror. Yes, having a bastard is horrible. How could a baby interrupt my cardinal fun? Oh, jeez. sociopath. Speaking as someone who has known people who have been through similar situations, it's not so much, oh, the baby will ruin my life. It's that they understood that they were not in a position to give the child what the child needed, and that frightened them. Oh, it's no big deal. You can just convince her to kill it, to destroy the inconvenience on your quest to surpass the conquest of even Casanova at his peak. Oh, this is so gross. Truth is, if you're not ready to be a parent, you shouldn't be having sex. We may want to inform women of this fact as well. You could use a rubber. That doesn't protect against a lot of diseases, and it certainly doesn't protect against the emotional damage that banging bar skanks every fucking night will have on you. But it does prevent you from getting a woman pregnant pretty fucking effectively. It's not even like it's a new technology, okay? The fucking Egyptians had it, all right? They insist on living in big, expensive cities to improve their access to sex partners. Again, I mean, I don't know who else you're talking about here, Roush. Because the word fornicators just means people who fuck outside of marriage, which these days is most people. For good or ill, it's most people, okay? And it's mostly ill, but the point is, it's most people. Fornicators would never consider living in the mountains or on a cozy farm with chickens and goats. Because then how would they meet enough people to gain a coveted sex life? What is it with trads and wanting to, live out in the middle of the... You know, this is what trads... Trads honestly think the whole world should be like everybody lives in this isolated farm, miles from a town or something like that. They want the whole world to be a sparsely populated rural world, but at the same time, they think everybody should have 40 fucking kids. And they don't see how maybe those two things, how maybe one prevents the other in a society. Whatever. Okay, yeah, rural living is best. I get you, Roush. They don't believe it's immoral to fornicate. Both gay and straight have no moral qualms about using other people for sexual gain. They bought the satanic conclusion of the sexual revolution and insist on ignoring the consequence, which is easy to do with all the substances that must be taken to participate in casual sex. Okay, look, I'm willing to grant that maybe this is just describing people that have casual sex, which again is not exactly what the word fornicator means. The gospel is written on our hearts, and the act of fornication will eventually catch up with them if they continue to ignore the Okay, yes, that's fine. I don't necessarily disagree with that one. I believe that fornication is the main source of their confidence. You were very guilty of this, weren't you, Roush? Of course, now would have fucking, now your fucking legalistic Pharisee religion is the source of your confidence. Confidence is a variant of pride, and pride is a deadly sin that separates you from God. So, of course, it's one of the first things you develop as you become accomplished in your fornication. Okay, that's... A lot of this I'm not necessarily disagreeing with us on this one. They didn't read the instruction manual on the human body. This is some cringe right here. A human mouth is not a place to put a penis. An anus is not a place to put a penis. Your mouth is not intended to slurp up vagina or anus. Based on how fornicators use their body and those of others, many lifetime warranties have been declared null and void. When you're addicted to gaining physical pleasure, you have to get creative in vile and disease-causing ways for that little extra shot of pleasure. So Roush just came out and said that a blowjob is gross and wrong. I assume even within marriage. So we'll assume, because the way he's described it, and I have to. He's going on that full-on sex is only about making babies. We're all apparently just animals in a breeding pen. Sex is only about making babies. So I would ask this. This is a serious fucking question. If you honestly think that you let's put this within marriage. Let's take the issue of fornication out of here because he's attacking the very concept of oral sex. So within marriage, it is wrong and indeed apparently gross for your wife to suck your dick or for you to eat her pussy, right? So is kissing wrong? It serves no reproductive act or no reproductive purposes. I mean, think about it. Your mouth is meant to intake food, okay? It's not meant to be pressed against another person's mouth. And then your tongues touch. That's just spreading disease, right? Right? I mean, that's just gross, right? I would honestly love anyone that takes a hard stance against oral sex, even within marriage, to explain to me why kissing is okay. It's every bit as quote unquote unnatural and sterile a sex act as oral sex. Again, if you view sex as just for reproduction, you essentially have boiled us down to animals. We're just animals. We're just animals in a breeding pen, apparently. But no. Again, I'm not saying you should be fucking outside of marriage. You shouldn't. I shouldn't have. Nobody should, okay? Again, you should be getting married off. You should be getting married off like right out of high school. Most people should be marrying their high school sweethearts. That's when we as a species are meant to pair bond for life. In our late teens, early 20s at the latest. But within marriage, your wife should be sucking your dick. Like, look, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you should be doing butt stuff. Like, if you want to, fine. If you don't, fine. Again, it's definitely an acquired taste, as it were. But yeah, you should, like, look. If your wife doesn't want to suck your dick, she doesn't love you. I'm not even joking here, by the way. Okay, she's not fucking into you if she doesn't want to suck your dick like she's dying and it's the cure. Let me let you in on another little secret. Every woman swallows. She just might not swallow with you. And guess what, ladies? If a man doesn't want to fucking eat your pussy like it's a fucking fountain of youth, and he's just searched all of Florida in the 1700s to find it, then he ain't really fucking in love with you. I'm sorry to tell you this. This man describes sex without passion. Again, I'm sorry to be mean here, but I bet you could count on one hand the amount of times this man has made a woman come. Because this is essentially how he viewed sex before. Like, I bet you he hated eating pussy, even during his fucking hedonistic days. He just fucking hated it. But I didn't mind getting his dick sucked. Nobody minds getting their dick sucked. But probably hated fucking eating pussy. Probably thought it made him less manly or some dumb shit like that. Like, any ladies in the audience, I know I got a few. Can you imagine being married to this man? Can you imagine what a terrible fuck he must be? They throw temper tantrums when they can't secure sex. Again, I don't even know anybody who acts like this. I've never even known a motherfucker that acts like this. I've even known some gay guys who don't fucking act like this. He's describing like a stock fucking character from a '90s sitcom or something, like the Quagmire from Family Guy, or what was the guy Doogie Howser played in How I Met Your Mother? Like he's describing a cartoon character. Who the fuck has ever been like this? Like is this really how you lived your life? Oh, fucking phone going off. Sorry, folks. If gay or straight loses their preferred sexual partner for the night, get ready for an epic temper tantrum. He will get obnoxiously drunk, start a scene, or simply cockblock his fornicator friends. The most, quote, confident, unquote, and, quote, masculine, unquote, of fornicators will act like outright children when the hole they thought was secured for the night slips through their grasp. Not only do fornicators have no self-control over their bodies, but also their emotions. This is gross, man. Oh. God, Hulk needs veg. Exactly. Oh, man. That's gross. Ugh. Like, motherfucker, you lived like this? Oh, that's just disgusting. Oh. Sounds like the world's worst Jack Chick track. Oh. That was gross. Somebody in the chat says, I think Sleepy Doodle is a woman. I'm still a virgin at 25. I wouldn't want to lose it to the spaz. Good God, can you imagine just like cold mechanical pumps as he just looks at you with his dead eyes? Just no fucking passion. He's probably not even kissing you. He might not even be looking at you. Just fucking... Oh, and now hopefully you're pregnant. And he rolls off. I don't know, grabs a rosary bead or something like... Oh, good God, ladies. Are all the pussies getting wet? Oh, my God. Oh, somebody in the chat says I was virgin till 26. I was 17. I don't know. I went from, like, basically doing nothing to, like, virtually everything when I was 17. But... I mean, I'm not gonna act like I'm like the fucking, I'm Casanova. I can have any woman I want, whenever I want. It's not the case. Done okay. I don't really understand how. I'm a fucking dorky chud. I don't fucking understand how any of that happened. But it did. Ugh. Good Lord. That's gross. That article's just gross. I'm sorry, there's something really... Like, if you don't want to put your dick in your wife's mouth, I'm not talking about some bar skank. I'm talking about you married this woman. You took her to the altar. You supposedly love her. Okay? This is your most important... As a human being, this is your most important relationship aside from your relationship with God himself. And she's all like, I want to suck your cock. And you're like, ew, gross. I don't think that's a holy attitude. I don't think there's anything righteous about that. I think you just have some fucking issues. If she comes in the room and she's all cleaned and showered, and yeah, she maybe put a little perfume on her neck. She's got some sexy lingerie on. You know, she's done her fucking best hair and makeup, and she wants to sit on your fucking face, and you're like, ew, gross. I, what the fuck are you even married to her for? Like, what the fuck are you even doing? How can a man who has claimed to have had sex with hundreds of women have no passion? I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. You know, there was a time before I came to faith, and yeah, Domino Mortis says hundreds of women in quotation marks. Yeah, you know that's the other thing. I'm more and more skeptical of his stories. Um, I just leave it at that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, and I'll say this with confidence. It could have been a fucking million women, and I don't think he made more than like 3 or 4 come. And I'm being generous with that, because I would bet zero. Um, I don't know, man. You know, I once commented on here because I am not a literal creationist by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't buy it. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you do. I don't buy it. But I once commented that the the Ken Ham type hardcore literal creationists, they sort of strike me as the other side of the same coin as like your hardcore atheists. In other words, like both of them view God as a fairy tale, as a guy with a white beard and a white robe on a cloud. You know what I mean? Like that's really what they fucking picture God as. And the atheist rejects that for being nonsense. And rightfully so. And the Ken Ham type realizes that, well, when you reject God, you know, the only thing left is an abyss full of bananas. So even though this is stupid, I have to cling to it because what the fuck else is there? And both of them, I guess I'd say, are starting, like, they lack a little imagination, I guess it were. Like, they're both starting from a very childish view of spirituality, of God, of just metaphysics, whatever, however you want to put it. In the same vein as that, I feel like the hedonist and the Puritan, and I know Roush wouldn't, I think he's Orthodox, but these are Puritan attitudes to sex in the broader sense of the term, I guess I'd say. The Puritan and the hedonist, it's sort of the same thing. It's sort of the two sides of the same coin here. Roush doesn't really have much of a different view of sex than he once did. It was a cold, mechanical thing he once did because he thought it would make him happy. He thought it would make him seem cool. And now it's just a cold and gross mechanical thing he rejects because now he's got I don't know, his rosary beads or whatever the fuck the Orthodox do. I don't know, whatever cringy, he's got his fucking candles that he lights, whatever the gay fucking ritualistic shit he has. But again, it's this insanely simple, childish, animalistic even view of sex. Like, this sounds kind of gay and Hallmark Channel bullshit here, but motherfuckers never made love. Like, again, not to fucking, you know, be all smarmy and you know, like it's a fucking Hallmark Channel movie over here, but motherfuckers never made love. That's fucking sad. Like, that's really fucking sad. Like, I mean, a virgin, at least there's still that element of purity that comes out, you know. I mean, not so much if you're a virgin, not by choice, but you get what I'm saying. There's still that element of, you know, pure as the driven snow kind of bullshit to it. But he's... It would be like a guy that got fat off of eating flavorless gruel. Like, you didn't even have fun getting to this point. It's just really sad. Somebody says, can he even find romantic love at this current state? If this is how he views sexuality, I would say no. Maybe he never could. Maybe it was something that was always beyond his capacity. But at this point, I would say no. He may get married at some point. He may have some fucking trad fucking, God help us, he may even fucking have kids. Although I don't know, you know, I think his prospects for that are probably dwindling by the moment. He doesn't even have the prestige he once did. But I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a fuck up, man. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a role model. Not for sex, not for spirituality, none of that shit. Like, no. Take this show as a guy, like you're talking with your buddy at work, all right? You're sitting in a break room, you're chatting with your buddy at work. Okay, you're at the bar, you're chatting with a buddy. That's all this show is, okay? I'm just some schmuck. All right? I may have some insights from time to time. I sure might. But I'm just some schmuck. Do never fucking take me as a role model. For the love of God, I am at best a cautionary tale. Do not fucking take me as a role model. All right? I am a fuck up. I am a pervert. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. I suspect a lot of other people in the same boat, but the point is, that's me. Somebody in chat says, does the science say that you aren't really an adult until 25? How safe is it really to condone teenagers getting married? Look, I get that, you know, your brain's not fully formed, all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, we are biologically designed to pair bond in our late teens, early 20s. Kind of at the latest. And I get, like, in the old and ancient times, they married you off when you were like 14 or some shit, but those were arranged marriages. I'm talking about when you're designed to pick a mate. Is probably, I would say, between 15 and 20. Is when you are biologically designed to pick a mate. And that's why, like, all these boomers that sold my generation a bill of goods are like, don't take dating seriously till you're fucking 30 or dumb shit like that. Like, You get like 2 beers in any of them, they won't be able to shut up about their high school sweetheart that got away. So don't fucking... Like, if any of you are in high school right now or something, listening to this show, I'm not going to tell you to marry the first girl that bats her eyes at you. But you might, and there's nothing wrong with that. Zach the Bonger could listen to Beckloff. I took him as a role model, and now my life is ruined. Exactly. Do not take me as a role model. And I don't think most of you do. But at the same time, I don't want, like, the guys defending Roush or something to come in here and be like, well, what are you? I mean, I'm not the guy that's so dead inside that I will never be able to emotionally connect with a woman again. That's what I am. Like, I'm still capable of love for all my faults. For all the ways I fucked up. Sometimes beyond repair in my life. I am still capable of love. I am still capable of loving a woman. Like I said, this is sad. Like that article we just read, it's funny and it's goofy. And there's a few points in there I agree with. Like, yeah, you shouldn't be fucking around. Get yourself right with Jesus. All that good stuff. But this shit is sad. Could be worse. You could be Movie Bob. That's a rough thing. So he says, in my first relationship when I was 11 and he was 15, I had to wait till I was older to realize how wrong I was. Yeah, 11's not... 11's pretty fucking young, all right? I mean, I'm not gonna act like I didn't have crushes and shit when I was 11, but yeah, in a relationship, and then with an older guy, and I realized, 15, it's 4 years difference. It's not a lot of difference, except when you're that young, it's a lot of difference. If you're an adult and there's a 4-year difference, it's, like if you were 15 and he was 19, I wouldn't even think that's fucked up. It might not be the best idea, but but like, yeah, you being 11, that's I can't put no stamp of approval on that. That's for sure. Look, I mean, our culture's views on sex are pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna say they're not. I don't think anybody here is giving a thumbs up to like little fucking, oh look, my toddler is trans or any of that dumb shit. I get that, but like, doing the opposite of something stupid is not necessarily good. You know what I mean? Like, the. Like I said, this is not healthy either. What Roush is doing here, this is not healthy either. Okay? It's sad, is what it is. It is pitiable. Movie Bob equals suicides levels of rock bottom. Yeah, we can all be thankful we're not Movie Bob. I mean, Movie Bob's definitely a cautionary tale for anyone into geek shit. Like, if, Movie Bob is basically the tale of, like, that nerd rage you felt in high school when people were picking on you because you like some dumb nerd shit. Most people just got to fuck over that. Like, okay, you punch the bully back in the mouth, or you just ignore it, or whatever. You get the fuck over it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you grow out of that shit. Most people, like, by the time they're like 17 at the latest, get the fuck over that shit. Certainly a couple years out of high school, when you've come to realize, okay, well, none of that mattered. Like, I would say at the absolute latest, by like 2 years removed from high school, you should realize how much none of that mattered. But if you don't, then you start to come up with weird fucking political philosophies about how all the people who were mean to you in high school should be exterminated. And you'll have vertical farming to replace them with shit. Like, that's how you get Movie Bob, okay? It's not a good place to be. All right, folks. I think that's about it for tonight. I think we had a good little show here. I think we had some fun. I think we learned a lot. And if you enjoy the content I put out, hey, paypal.me/thebecloff. You know, throw some shekels my way. That'd be greatly appreciated. That is it for tonight, folks. I guess Dashing Rogue might be streaming tonight. I might hop in on that. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just watch some fucking Roku. I don't know. Who knows? But that's it for tonight, folks. I want to thank you all for listening. Beckloff out.